Happy Sunday to everybody. We're here and I welcome all the Europeans that listen to me today. It's been a very nice weekend. We had a beautiful tastings of fantastic wines, and we are here thinking about this strange moment of life, because we all are locked down everywhere you are in Europe. It's the same here in Italy, and we hope 2021 will bring us a fantastic year, which is not too difficult to do after 2020, but we hope really it's going to be a different year. But in this COVID moment, this pandemic, we've been very close. We've been very close to the house. We've been very close to our friends, our best family persons, and in any case we've been drinking much more than before. I hope everything is perfect for you. We just drinking more than before. We enjoy the wine. We enjoy the wine with food, because in Italy we had the wine with food. So this is something that is extremely important. This is something that we always learn when you come into Italy, and I hope everybody will agree with me that wine is food. Wine is something to enjoy every day. This wine is something that we just need to enjoy every minute of the day. In Italy, we drink wine every day. The wine are made for these drinkings, and for the holidays, we just having something special for you. We thought to bring you the Three Kings, and the Three Kings coming for Christmas, but the Three Kings coming also from Italy. And the Three Kings of the Italian production are definitely three important Italian wine made with the three Italian grape. Brunello di Montalcino coming from Toscany, Piemonte makes Barolo, and the third wine is of course Amarone della Valpolicella. So Italy is the largest maker of wine in the world, number one. Number two is France, number three is Spain. So we produce a lot of wine. We also export a lot of wine. In Italy, we have about 350 different grape, which makes Italy to be the largest one on the production of different wines. And today we just focus on three wines, but those three wines, they're the Three Kings because they represent the fantastic Italian wine, makes only with Italian grape, something exceptional you can store, you can age for a long time. We're very lucky because for the three wine, we're gonna featuring something very important for the vintage. For Brunello di Montalcino 2015, so top vintage, di Barolo 2016 and di Amarone 2017. You know, we've been lucky because not every time we have the opportunity to taste and to featuring those great wines in great vintages. And the production is more white than red, but of course tonight we're gonna only focus on red wine. In the first two regions that we're gonna feature involved, so Tuscany and Piemonte, we're talking about only red wine because Tuscany makes 95% red, Piemonte makes almost 70% red. But we're gonna start definitely from Tuscany. A Tuscany make wine with a grape called Sangiovese. With the Sangiovese variety, we make a lot of different wine. Everybody knows and are very keen with the most important one in production, which is Chianti and Chianti Classico. But today we're going to feature it with the king of the Tuscan wine, which is now of course Chianti, but is Brunello di Montalcino. As you see on the map, Montalcino is located south of Siena on direction to go west to the sea. If you see all the lands below Montalcino, which tend to be purple on a map, those areas were all covered by the ocean long time ago. What ocean? Million years ago, the was covered by the ocean, so every land was covered. So why now we are 40 minutes from the coast? Because in Montalcino next we have a mountains called Monte Amiata, which is an old extinguished volcano. The volcano came up, it covered the soil with different land, different soil, different of everything. The volcano brings up from the underground an amount of large stones, a lot of minerality, the soil turns to be very black, very red. We're talking about a totally different macroclimate, a totally different soil. That's the secret of Montalcino. We have a big breeze coming from the coast. Glass number one. To check a color, because when we test the wine, we always do three things. We must do three things. We check color, then we smell, and then we taste. How we check color of the wine? We don't raise the glass. That's a totally mistake. We just put the glass in contrast with something white. So please do with me this. You can do in contrast with a paper, you can do in contrast with the tablecloth. You see exactly how this wine looks. It looks ruby, but not too dark. If you put a finger next to that, you will see the clarity of the wine. This one is totally clear. If we smell it, the big difference between Italian wine and the wine produced all over the world is the use of oak, is the use of the barrels. In Italy, we don't like at all the oaky taste. Of course, it's mandatory to age the wine in the barrel, especially when we have a wine like Brunello. In Montalcino, it's legal to do 24 months, but this one has been aged 36. So what happened here? In Italy, we have everything to make wine except the oak, which we import from an area called Slavonia. This is an area between Slovenia and Croatia. We import the oak and we make barrels extremely large. They don't fit in this room. So there's not much surface of wine touching the oak, and we don't have any oaky taste, which I told you we totally don't like it. Plus, the oak is not toasted. What it means toasted? It's not burned like they do in Scotland for whiskey. So the wood is totally neutral in order to preserve the aroma of the wine. So please, let's smell together. The wine is beautiful, nice. We have a strong fruit. What kind of fruit do we smell? We have a red cherry, we have plums, Victoria plums. We have beautiful aroma of licorice, we have beautiful aroma of tobacco. That's beautiful. Let's drink it together. Wine number one. The wine is nice, smooth, dry, persistent, a little bit astringent. This has a sensation that we have in just two parts of the mouth. This is coming from a substance which is only on the red skin of the red grape, which is called tannin. Tannin is only on the red skin of the red grape. When we crush the grape, the tannin go on a mustard, and after the fermentation, it stays in the wine. It gives the life to the red wine. That's why when we drink a wine like this, we shouldn't say I don't like it. We should say is not ready to drink. It deserves some time. How much time? Testing this one with you, I would say 1 to 2 years. 2015 is extraordinary. This is one of the most important vintage of the century. There are a lot of similarities between Brunello and Barolo because both wines are very similar. But first of all, let's check together about the map, and we see how Piemonte is coming from an area next to France, next to Switzerland. In Piemonte, we make 60% of red wine and the rest is white wine. We also produce a Moscato d'Asti and Asti, which are beautiful sweet wine coming from the area. But today we're gonna focus in the area which you see colored red in your map, which is called Alba. Alba is a very ancient Roman city, and around Alba we have an area which is protected by the UNESCO, by the European community, for your world community heritage. This is called Langhe. In Langhe we grow a lot of different varieties, but of course the most important one is called Nebbiolo. Nebbia in Italian translate to English is fog, is mist. We are next to the Alps, so every morning when we wake up, we have fog almost all year long. That's how the grape it took place. There's a very important person in the past which gave name to this grape. His name is the Emperor Caesar. Everybody knows him. He was loving this wine coming from the north. Say, bring me the foggy wine. So the foggy wine was Nebbiolo. That's how the grape took the name out of Nebbiolo. We do two important varietals. One is called Barbaresco, one is called Barolo. Barolo has a lot of similarity with Brunello. 10 million barrels, almost 200 producer, very tiny production. Barolo and Brunello, another similarity, they make 100%, and in Barolo is illegal to blend, 100% Nebbiolo, aged 4 years, 3 years in a barrel, 1 year in a bottle. That's why tonight Brunello di Montalcino is 2015 and Barolo is 2016. This is one of the most important area of for the production of red wine in Italy, and Nebbiolo is really a top wine that we produce out of there. Barolo won't be ready to drink tonight, but is ready to buy it. Barolo is one of the most important Italian wine, will age very well for a long time. Barolo needs to be opened in advance. Those bottles been opened yesterday, but for you I recommend to open 5-6 hours in advance. The Perigord wine is very important. I don't know if you've never been to Piemonte, but we always go there in October, November. You're welcome to join us where we do field trips over there. And the Barolo is a beautiful landscape. I hope we're gonna see a beautiful picture of the Barolo, because Barolo is extraordinary. You see first the large barrel of Bovio, that's the name of the producers, which is very traditional. Then in a second we're going to see the beautiful landscape of Langhe, which as you see makes hills beautifully, which they stay west to east on the sun all day. They makes top quality wine. This is one of the most expensive area of Italy to produce wine, and Barolo is really one of the best king that you can. Which is a Barolo. The color of Barolo is very clear, almost like Pinot Noir and Sangiovese. That's why when you put your finger next to the glass, the way I do, we see exactly the color of the Nebbiolo. When we smell Barolo, we don't have only fruit, we have a large influence of flower. What kind of flower? We have red rose, we have lily, but we have beautiful aroma of cherry, plums, blueberry, blackcurrant, something exceptional. And also here, as you see on the picture, we don't smell any oak, because also here we use large cask of Slavonia, so those ones are extremely good, but they are very traditional Italian wine. Let's drink it together. Wine number 2. Ooh, nice, smooth, dry, persistent, a little bit astringent. This sensation is normal because this is a wine which is tannic. Tannic is something normal on a red wine, and Barolo is very tannic, which means has a very long life in front. This is the wine out of the 3 tonight. This is the king that will age forever. Europe, Barolo costs a lot of money in a restaurant, in a retail, and is really a top wine coming from 2016. The Perigord food is the traditional wine of meat, which you can have every country of Europe. Then of course we got the extra of the mushroom, of the truffle, which I hope you can find easily in your country, in some restaurant, in the house. Otherwise, I'm waiting for everybody to come back in Italy and enjoy our beautiful restaurant, our beautiful shop where you can find white truffle, especially between October and the end of January. This is a kind of wine which deserves time, because I test with you and I know, I cannot see everybody, but I know that this is exactly a wine which sometimes people don't understand, because it tends to be very tannic, but this is a wine that in a few years will slow down with tannic, will be so sweet, so beautiful, that you will love yourself that you bought this wine. It is called Legs. Legs is a compilation of alcohol and sugar, which is together, it's called glycerin. More is legs tied to each other, higher is the quality of the wine, higher is the alcohol content. That's why it doesn't matter you're in Cortona, you're in Florence, you're in London, you're in Berlin, you're in Moscow. Sometimes you only see people spinning on the wine all night. Have you never seen those maniacs? They keep looking for legs, but next time you see the maniacs, tell them that they're better looking for other legs. Why I'm telling you that? Because we can also do fake legs, make you think that these wines are exceptional, and they are not. Why they do that? Because they want to raise the quality of a price of a quality wine, a non-quality wine to a quality wine. So everywhere you are in Europe and you spend up to 20 euro, that's the round, you can find below very, very important wine, but also very cheap wine, especially quality. Italy, doesn't matter, they cost 10,000. The Italian wine, they give you the guarantee we don't have anything inside. The Italian wine are worth it, whatever they do, because in Italy it's illegal to add glycerin. So whatever you see when you turn your wine you swallow your wine in your glass, you just see and you just taste and you just smell the price they is worth it to do. And of course we don't do wine, exporting wine for England or for Germany, for France. We export our wine, which we make with our rules. They're not fake, they're real wines. We send it to you, are the same wine that we drink here. But the main difference, my friends, you must test today, and you must understand, which makes Italian and French wine to be totally different from the other wine, that in Italy and France it's illegal to irrigate. What it means? We cannot water in the plant of vines. This system is called in English dry farming. So when you do the dry farming, you don't irrigate. How we do? The wine is coming from Veneto. Where is Veneto? Veneto is located in the north of Italy, in an area called Lake Garda. You see Veneto on a map. And Veneto is the largest producer of wine of Italy, the largest one in the world, because only Veneto makes like South Africa and Chile together, just Veneto. In Veneto we also produce Prosecco, which is 3 years ago has become the largest sparkling wine of the world. Today we're gonna focus on the most important red wine of Veneto, which is called Amarone della Valpolicella. Valpolicella is the brown area next to Lake Garda. Lake Garda is the largest lake of Italy. Around the Lake Garda we grow 3 Italian varietals, Rondinella, Corvina, Corvinone and Molinara. Those are the grapes that participate to make the Amarone. Ma Amarone, listen to me, my friend, is making a totally different way. Why? Because here is a non-wine. What we do, we harvest the grape, and you see the beautiful hills and the beautiful location of Corteggiara, which is the second brand of Allegrini, a wine which is not exported to Europe, is only stay in Italy. And here what we're doing, we make a wine coming from dry grapes. This wine has been made by a mistake. Marco, what are you telling me? A mistake? Yes. This wine was made first time by a mistake. It keeps doing the same was on 1956, because every time you dry the grape we only make sweet wine. Why Amarone is not sweet? Because Amaro translate to English it means bitter, so Amarone means big bitter, because this wine has been made by a mistake. In 1956 one person was making a wine called Amarone della Valpolicella. They were drying the grape. He went down to the basement to check the fermentation tank. This is how they looks, the grape, which they stay there from September till the end of January. So what we're doing here, in the end of January, we take the grape and we start squeezing on a fermentation. And on a fermentation, we stop the fermentation. You stop the fermentation, yes. That's how we make this mistake. The fermentation tank were on, but the fermentation tank by mistake went down to 0 to 32, so 0 degrees. So out of 0 degrees without oxygen, the oxygen will remain, start killing, so just eating the sugar, so the wine doesn't become sweet, but the grape just take the fermentation and become alcoholic. So we have alcohol. So tonight, for example, this wine is 15 alcohol, but we don't have the sweetness. So they went back on 1956 to test the wine, and the wine was not sweet, it was bitter, it was Amaro. They came after 2 weeks, they call an expert coming from Piemonte. The expert arrived and said, this wine is not sweet. Who cares? It's very good. How did they make it? We don't know. That's how the mistake come from. They went back, they retest the wine. After 2-3 weeks, they finally found out what they did. So we stopped the fermentation, we put down the temperature, we only do a little bit of fermentation. The wine is not sweet, it's not even too dry. The wine is alcoholic, but is fantastic. We have 50 million bottles produced by 200 different producers. This is one of the cult wine. As you see, the grape Corvinone has a very thick skin, which stay very good till the end of January. The cluster is pretty rich, pretty strong, because out of 4 or 5 months, it will decrease 50 or 60% of the weight. What is very important about the area, this is the only area of the north of the hemisphere, because where we grow next to Lake Garda. But I love the tree. I'm telling you, there's 3 nights, 3 days I'm tasting those wine. I change my mind all the time. Last night was Brunello, tonight is Barolo, the first time was Amarone. I'm really happy that I choose those 3 wines.
All right, well, I'm gonna end the poll. Here you go, here's your results. It looks like tonight, Marco, the favorites were the Amarone.
Oh, like first night.
Yep, everyone loved it, so good choice there. Okay, we do have some questions. So, as before, Alistair's group has about 20 people listed under Alistair, so I have no idea who this will be. Just a second. All right, if you raised your hand from Alistair's group, go ahead and get yourself unmuted, and then we can hear from you to get your question asked. All right, go ahead and get yourself unmuted. See if I can ask you to. Okay, go ahead. Can you hear us?
Hi, might be me, Alistair.
It's you, Alistair.
Hey, ciao, Alistair.
Who's that?
Did you have a question, Alistair?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, Marco, another very good presentation. I've taken a lot of heed from what you say about wine is food, and my wife is obviously as well. Claire has actually taken that on board as well. When does wine is food start? Is it when you're cooking or when you're eating?
When I'm eating. I never.
Okay. With some good wines tonight, but I didn't agree with the poll, so there we go.
I disagree with Marco. I say that the wine is food when you're cooking. It's much more fun to cook while you're having a glass of wine.
Rachel, I'm going with that one.
But Marco doesn't cook, so that's the problem. He has no way to know.
I'm arriving, it's already cooked.
Okay. That's my question. I don't know who else in my groups. I'll mute myself now.
Alright, thanks, Alistair. Alright. At the moment, I don't have any other questions up, so we'll give people here another minute or so if you have anything you want to ask. But I do have some other people that agree that having a glass of wine while you're cooking, they say in the chat, that is the best. So sorry, Marco, you've been outvoted. Alright, here we go. We have a couple questions coming in. So, Gary, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Marco, great presentation, thank you.
You're welcome.
You mentioned about wine, Italian wine having no adjectives in it. Does that mean you can drink as much as you like and have no hangover?
Absolutely yes. As I explained you on my presentation, the use of additive, the use of sugar, the use of sulfites makes the wine to be very heavy when you go drinking. And Italian wine are extremely light. Of course, more you go up in quality and price, more you have less of this additive. If you go down in a lower price, in a lower level of quality, you have more. But I'm telling you, the Italian wine are very successful in the world because are really made for drinking in large quantities, Gary. And this is very important. You can do by yourself. Of course, I'm Italian. You can take. This guy is telling me about. You can do by yourself. You live in England, where you are access for wine from all over the world, from Australia, Chile, South Africa. Those wine, I'm not telling you are not good by taste. We don't talk about the taste. We talk about what is inside. Italian wine.